Captain Thunderbolt, 1836 to 1870, was a highwayman, and he had a number of hideouts in the New England district, and we are now at one of them. The tales of his exploits are many and become more controversial with time. His daring and defiance of the troopers eventually caused his downfall, where constables called on him to surrender, shouting, "I'll die first!" He fired a shot at them. One of the constable's next shot found its mark, and Thunderbolt was shot. Thinking he was mortally wounded, the police left him on the riverbank, intending to return the next morning for his body. When they finally returned, they found that Thunderbolt had crawled some distance and was under a clump of bushes and still alive. The story goes that he did die shortly after the group reached Uralla. Constable Walker received the reward for the capture of Thunderbolt, and an Australian legend was born. How to get there? Well, we don't need to read that because we're actually here. The picture shows Thunderbolt and Constable Walker, and Thunderbolt is yelling, "I'll die first!" Thunderbolt hideout, and someone who's obviously been to school has put the apostrophe S in handwritten. Then you come through these things. Thunderbolt's hideout, 150 metres. Thunderbolt track with the tank traps, which I did deal with briefly in another video. Quite a narrow little track. I think in Thunderbolt's day he would have been on horseback and he would have just given a little jump over that little stream. Big tree fallen right across the track. It looks too recent to have been there in Thunderbolt's day. We'll keep walking up this track. Lovely old granite boulders. Look at this one with the tree growing actually on the boulder, in the detritus and the dead leaves and such like, which it's using for its nutrients. The tree goes way up there. And see how the roots are feeding downwards, looking for the stream. Very wild country. You can see how come Thunderbolt was able to use this as a hideout and not get caught. This track would have not been as visible then as it is now. Have a look at that. How did such things happen? That a huge rock like that, which is bigger than the family car and would be a lot heavier, how does it get on top of another rock? And it's about 2 stories above this track. I'm thinking it's been there for thousands of years. I wonder if the last ice age put it there. You see now the track has been well defined. This is some kind of flash flood creek course or watercourse goes down there. But this track would have been almost not a track in Thunderbolt's day, and now it's been made so that the track doesn't get washed out in every small flood. Be tempting to walk down there. I've actually left the dogs in the car, so I don't want to be gone too long. Oh, look at these. Look at these boulders. Two stories high. Now this is the hideout there, where he could even put his horse. As you can see, I've got lots of rocks to climb up here, so I'm going to have to just go a bit careful. He would have had to have dismounted, I'd say. That's a guess. I don't know what sort of a horseman he was, or how good his horse was on rough territory, but I would say that he dismounted and led his horse up here, and here horse and man could shelter from the weather. A cave formed by these huge boulders, massive boulders. I might go up there, very rough as you can see, but I might go up there and just have a look at what's on the other side. The horse couldn't have got through that, but a man can. A small man can, or a man would have to stoop. Look at this going up there. Can't get a foothold in these rocks. Not one-handed. Look at this. Then it comes to an end, and there's a bit of graffiti. That's about 8 foot high. I guess a very fit young man could make it up there if he had the troopers on his tail. It's quite stupendous. Let's make our way back down. Well, it's only about 4 foot high, but let's see if I can crouch and get under. Ooh, the arthritic knee. I'm walking doubled up. That's better. Look at this. So that's where I came through. And this is where I'm going to. I'm glad I didn't bring the dogs. This is rough enough that I'm having trouble looking out for myself. Never mind looking out for the dogs as well. This could surely only have been done in an ice age. Track continues on. I've been climbing steadily, as you can see, or maybe it's not being picked up by the camera, but I've come from way down there. I'm now at the same level as the tops of those rocks that formed the cave, but They still go up and up and up, those rocks. And the track goes between those two. Very rough. Rock hopping up will do it. This is the end of the track. Once again, huge rocks, bigger than a car, on top of other huge rocks. Boulders. The only force that could have put them there was an ice age. And I think, well, I don't know how many millions of years ago the last ice age ended. But those rocks, these rocks have been there since then. To go any further you'd have to go down over that precipice with ropes, abseil down. And of course I won't be doing that. Well, we're on the way back to the van. I'm on the way back to the van and to the dogs, but I am intrigued by the course of this dry creek bed. It's more of a floodway than a creek. I think I'll just follow it down for 100 or 200 meters. Little grottos and things formed by the stream when it's not in flood. Can't see it, but can you hear it? Rather large rock coming up there. Almost becoming blasé about these rocks because there are so many of them, these big granite boulders, but not totally blasé. I'm still in awe of them. Yeah, I'm still in awe of them. So here's the creek. You can just see the water down there. Meanwhile, this path is getting narrower, less defined. We're no longer on the water course. That ended up there somewhere where it tumbled over the side into the creek. So this is just a path caused by human footprints. I should really be getting back to the dogs. See, now it's still grass where I'm treading. It hasn't been worn enough to form an ungrassed path. So not too many people come this way. I'll just go a little way on because I've been away a fair while now and I don't like the thought of the dogs on their own. Alright, the path appears to have come to a halt. I'll make my way back. I don't know if this camera is picking up the sort of country we're in. I'm just doing a 360-degree turn. And then if we go up, we're under canopy. And there is enough definition in the path so that I can find my way back. Okay, back to the van.